Well, hello and welcome to the Combank Arena in Belgrade in Serbia and our ongoing coverage of the Women's European Handball Championships. My name's Paul Bray. Thanks for joining us once again for this main round Group 1 all-Scandinavian match between Norway and Sweden. Well, a fair few fans in for each of these home sides. In fact, the Norwegian fans have been in for some time, hoping that today they can confirm their place in the main round. A win here for Norway would indeed guarantee them a place in the semi-final, make them the first team to qualify with a match to spare.
Ladies and gentlemen, a warm welcome to the both referees, Mr. Peter Horvat from Hungary and Mr. Balázs Marton.
The referees being introduced to the crowd from Hungary, Peter Horvat and Balázs Marton. So in just a few moments then, this match that could seal Norway's path to another podium will get underway. Earlier today, France struggled to beat a young Czech Republic side who frankly deserved a point, 24-22. And later today, of course, Denmark will take on Serbia. This is how it looks, and after that first result, Norway top on 6 points. Denmark are on 4 points together with France. Sweden, though, at the moment, need to make up some ground. They are on 3 points. But a win here today could keep their hopes alive as well of a potential place in the semi-final. And there are the referees, Peter Horvat and Balázs Marton of Hungary. And we shall start there with the national anthems. First, it is Norway. That'll be the anthem of Sweden.
Ladies and gentlemen, national anthem of Sweden.
So the anthem over and the teams will swing around for the usual formalities, a shaking of hands and the tossing of the coin to decide who will throw off the game here. Both teams needing to win to stay in contention for the place in the semi-final. If Norway lose, they still have a chance of redeeming the situation in 2 days' time. For Sweden, though, they must win here today to keep that hope alive. Well, for Norway, Haraldsen is the competition's top goalkeeper with a 44% save rate. Played a blinder against France. And right back Suland is the second top scorer at the competition and should start alongside Olstad and Lunde Bornsen at the back. Herem and Rigelkud Korn should be on the wing. And there is Haraldsen with that 44% save rate. 217 caps, hugely experienced. And Suland, 24 goals, makes her the second top scorer of the competition. And plenty of Norwegian fans here. For Sweden, well, left-back Torstensson is proving to be the most potent weapon, although her scoring rate not always high. And she should start with Gulden and either Alm or Jakobsen at the back. On the wings, we should see Fogelström and Helleberg, although they are being challenged by Sand and Hawia Svensson for their place. And the impressive Ågren should get the nod on the line. There is Gulden, 17 goals in the competition so far, and Linnea Torstensen with 22 goals, but her rate coming up slowly. It's been down in the 40% success rate. She's got herself up to 56, and she'll need to maintain that today. Þórir Hergersson, coach of the Norwegian side, calm as ever. His team, together with Montenegro in the other group, the only two that have won all their matches so far, did a demolition job yesterday on France. For Torbjørn Klingvall, in charge of the team only for a few months, he will be hoping, together with his assistant Thomas Sivertsen, that they can shock the Norwegians here. Two teams have met many times, and in fact met just 2 weeks ago in the Möbelringer Cup when Norway won 30-28. It was close. So we're just about ready to get underway. There is the playmaker Ida Olstad for Norway, plays for Bjørsen. And here we go then. Norway in the all-white strip, throw off, playing from left to right. Sweden today in the blue. Suland opting not to go up to Torstensen to shake hands, just gives her a little wave. So win here today puts for Norway puts them in the semi-final with a day to spare. If they lose, then it all goes down to the last day. Penalty. Frafjord, the captain, fouled on the line. Jakobsen and Torstensen between them, unable to stop her. Faces Grubström. And a good start. Regelhut Kuren gets the defending champions to a winning start. Norway, of course, not just European champions, they're also world and Olympic champions. They've had a stranglehold on this competition since winning it in 2004. Have won it now 4 times back-to-back, and you wouldn't get long odds on them not doing it again. And a bit of a deflection. Gulden will get the goal, but it came off a defender. Torstensen tees her up, and it's Lunde Boensen, ironically, who knocks the ball past her own sister in goal. Long-range effort by Suland. Ball dies in the area, and Grubström makes her first save of the game. Back comes Sweden. Gulden tries to get free, and they're attacking with plenty of drive at the moment, the Swedes. Well, these teams have met quite a few times, not just the Möbelringer Cup 2 weeks ago. They met at the Olympics as well in London back in August. Norway won as well, and in the build-up as well, they played each other 2 weeks before the Olympics, and Norway won. In fact, you have to go all the way back to the main round of Euro 2010, 2 years ago in Lillehammer in Norway, when Sweden were the only team to beat Norway at Euro 2010, as Norway went on to win it. Ogren meanwhile has scored. Sweden take the lead. Ironically though, after Sweden had beaten them in the group stages, they then met again in the final. It was a big win for Norway, 25-20 on that occasion, but here today Sweden have made a great start. Hawia Svensson, chosen ahead of the more experienced Fogelström on the wing. Herem tried to cut the ball and instead put it straight back into Hawia Svensson's path, and she helps herself. Well, might we see the same scenario again, where Sweden beat the Norwegians in the group stages of the Euro, and maybe meet again in the final weekend. Torstensen. So far, good defending by the Swedes. Ogren waiting in the middle. Sweden, who battled yesterday to a draw against Serbia in a real seesaw match. It was a very physical encounter. They went into a 7-2 lead and appeared to be cruising away, but then surrendered it very slowly as Serbia went 5 up with 8 minutes remaining in the game. All looked lost for Sweden until a late rally saw them snatch a point, and it could be an absolutely crucial point for them. In fact, both teams in that last minute of yesterday's match had a chance to win it. Both threw away chances. So here we go then. Gulden in left back. Jakobsen's now been put in the centre while Torstensen's being individually marked. And the foul on Ågren and a 2-minute suspension for Breivang.
2-minute suspension.
32-year-old who plays for the champions Larvik. Holding on to Ågren for all she's worth. Let go when she realised Ågren was falling. It's just a free throw though, as Haraldsen, best keeper in the competition, with a 44% save rate, marshals her defence. Torstensen with a bit of space, looking for Jakobsen. Instead, Jakobsen runs straight into the defender, Ida Olstad. Norway take their time. They've struggled to find a gap since opening up earlier on and being short-handed. Lunde Borensen comes in, number 9. She's had a mixed Euro, 3 goals only from 16 attempts in the competition for the number 9. But she is very good at finding the line as well, at supplying others. And she is a goal scorer. She scored 466 in 161 internationals for her country. But another attacking foul by Norway, and Sweden on the attack with over a minute on the power play. This time they have to make it count. Jakobsen is at right back, waiting for service. They decide to slow it down. They've got time. 5 minutes played then. Sweden leading 3-1. Looking for the line. Blocked by Lunde Borensen, but still it stays with Sweden. Gulden drives in. Torstensen, same tactic again. They're trying to release the wing, but they're not quick enough at moving the ball around. And passive play against them just when they had the extra player. Free throw only. Couldn't quite turn Ågren to get the penalty. Held up by Rigelhut Koren into the wing. And now they've lost possession. If she'd just got a hold of that ball, she would have probably been given the chance to shoot. But when she fumbled it and ran around, that was it for the referees, who'd had their arm up for passive play for some time. And 2 turnovers apiece in the opening 5.5 minutes here, as Norway are about to get back to full strength again. Alstad is over on the left-hand side. Lunde Borensen. Sulan now comes out from the wing. Fumbles the ball a bit, but they are now back to full strength again. Rigelhut Koren goes into the wing, and Lunde Borensen can slot back into the central role now. Olstad to the left. A slightly different combination to the start, where they've been the other way around. And we've got a little bit of a melee on the line. So 5 meetings between these two teams since Euro 2010, 2 years ago, when Sweden won their last encounter between these two teams. And Alstad. Alstad with a long-range effort. 27-year-old who plays for Byåsen. Very experienced, 76 caps, 183 goals for her country. Needed that because it's been 5 minutes without a goal for them. But still, Sweden lead here. Into the inside post, cleverly taken. Jessica Helleberg, who plays a club handball in Denmark for Esbjerg, takes off, and as Haraldsen goes out, plants it on the inside post. Free throw, good defending by Sweden. Frafjord favoured on the line, the captain, although she's had some injury problems leading up to Euro 2012, ahead of the former world player of the year, Heidi Løke, and that's parried away by Grubström. Also plays in Denmark for Viborg, the Swedish keeper. Ironically, she plays for the same club as Frafjord, the Norwegian captain, up against each other today. Good defending. A sporting exchange of words there between Alstad and Ågren. Alstad trying to get free. It's tough defending by the Norwegians, well blocked, and is still in play, and Haraldsen's got it. 8 minutes played, 4-2 to Sweden. Lunde Borensen. Straight down the middle, and a comfortable save for Grubström. Sweden come back. To the wing, and the defence just opened up in front of Jakobsen. 23-year-old who plays for Randers in Denmark. Jakobsen, who scored 5 from 10 so far in the competition, gets her first here today. Rigelhut Koren, Suland, who's been quiet so far. They've been pushing up deep on her. Rigelhut Koren. Oh, well, she went to pass the ball, and unfortunately for Sweden, they couldn't hold the ball, the loose ball. There's the pass by Rigelhut Koren. Ågren thought she had it, and because she couldn't hold it, she put it straight back in the path of Rigelhut Koren to get a second attempt. And the winger brings them back to within 2 goals. Sweden very efficient with their shooting. Haven't missed a shot yet. And, plenty of power and a smattering of Swedish supporters. Applaud that effort. Jakobsen puts it back. She just saw the gap and just plants it, and Haraldsen wouldn't have seen that come until the very last second. Couldn't quite get a bearing on the arm or the wrist, and a team timeout is called by Thorir Hergersson, the Icelandic trainer of the Norwegian team. Calm as ever, just going through his instructions, but at the moment it's been a good start by the Swedes. Suland, who's not really been able to get into the fray. At the moment, but Sweden do defend well. Their one frailty so far in the competition is that they've got 3 very strong back players and a fantastic line player. In fact, 2 line players, Flonman as well. But they just don't spread it wide. They have good wingers, but they often really try and force everything down the middle and just don't spread it. And that is their one failing. It allows the defence to crowd a little bit in the centre. Suland still looking for her first goal, the second highest scorer in the competition, number 15. Rigelhut Koren, oh, big angle for her, and you'd normally have expected her to put that one away comfortably. Gulden, back the other way, Gulden, oh, got a bit of power on that one. The defender stayed back, decided to chance it, but doesn't frame it. Suland, Raivang, can't get past Jakobsen. 2 tougher defenders in each team come head to head. Alstad. Suland is now in close, but can't quite get a run at it. Looking for the line, it went straight past the line player. And a poor pass by Torstensson to Ågren, who's running up. Too hard, sailed right through. Saved by Fogelström, and quite literally Helleberg throws herself backwards to sit on the loose ball and make sure Norwegian player doesn't pick it up. And we're past the 10-minute mark. There it is again. Not a great shot by Alstad, and their shooting is off target today, Norway. Maybe they've come in a little overconfident after their whitewash of France yesterday. You've got to be careful, because that's not always an indicator, and that's a penalty. Defending inside the area, Gulden drove in quick, and Klingvall, Sweden's new trainer, who's taken over from Per Johansson since the London Olympics, must be delighted the way things are going. Rigelhut Koren caught inside. Well, Haraldsen chose to go down, and Gulden scores. She waited a bit, and just as she started to drop her arms, Gulden just put it over the top. Well, a win by Sweden here would open up this group completely. And it would mean that quite a few teams could potentially still be in contention. Inside the area, Frafjord, when she turned, it'll just be a free throw. Free throw. Helleberg gets the loose ball. Suland tries to slow things down by just sitting on her. As Suland goes off, and back in comes Breivang for her in defence. Suland, who's just not used in defence, and Helleberg taking a heavy knock right on her nose there from Suland as she landed on top of her. Helleberg, 26-year-old, who plays for Esbjerg, just moved there this summer from Sävehof, the Swedish champions. Here's the incident again, and well, she got a slap from both hands, and then she landed on top of her as well, just to make sure she knew she was there. And Helleberg's okay. She wanders off back into her left wing. Oh, quick acceleration by Gulden. 3 goals in succession. Oh, good save by Haraldsen. The ball is still open though, and it's picked up by Edin, who's come into the attack for Norway. Haven't scored for 4 minutes now, whilst conceding 3 goals. Edin, she's got them going again. The 29-year-old from Larvik, who's their top scorer in the Champions League competition this year, has come on and had an effect immediately. Her first of the game. Edin, who was in the 2009 World Championship team that took bronze for Norway, but afterwards the coach said, well, I think you need to go back into the B team for a bit to improve your defence. She didn't want that. Instead, she moved to a new club, Larvik, improved the defence herself. And now she's back. And meanwhile, Sweden have scored again, and it's Jakobsen. Her second of the game. 14 minutes played, and Sweden with a 5-goal lead. Edin switches. Suland in the centre. Suland finds a line. Oh, off the post. How unlucky for Heidi Lurker, who's just come in as well. She tries to surprise Torstensson, but gets a yellow card rather unnecessarily. Acknowledges that. Occupational hazard, really. So Torstensson switches over. She's in the centre. Ågren, well taken by Edin. Now they're loose. Oh, what a shame. Poor pass to Edin. And now the long pass to Helleberg is too long as well. And so midway through the first half, 9-4 after a couple of messy mistakes. Well, in fact, she did get her hand to the ball, just couldn't control the bounce initially, and we've already had 11 turnovers in the game in the opening 15 minutes. Lunde, Bornson then in the centre. Edin at left back. Suland still can't find the gap. Now she has. Oh, saved. Well, Grubström has been hot and cold so far in Euro 2012. Not been entirely impressed with her so far, but here today, 6 saves from 10 attempts for the Swedish goalkeeper. And she's kept her team in it. In fact, they've built up a 5-goal lead. Straight down the middle this time by Jakobsen. A little overconfident maybe. That's an easier save for Haraldsen. Only her second in the game. Lunde Bornson. Edin to the line. Strong defence. Lindblom. He's working the centre of the defence. Newcomer to the Swedish team. Just one international before coming here, and she's working in the centre with Sabina Jakobsen. Herem goes in as an extra line player. Oh, lovely height Beautifully done. Anja Edin, her second. She's certainly begun to turn things a bit for the Norwegians. Edin, who has played 32 internationals and scored 60 goals, although she's had that break then since the World Championships in 2009. Hoping now to become a regular fixture in the Norwegian side. Torstensen looking for the line, too many steps, and in the end she fumbles the ball out, not quite knowing where it's going, but it's Herrem who picks up the loose one. 17 minutes played. Edin, penalty, and once more Edin at the heart of it all. A lovely little pass into Heidi Løke. But if she's not scoring them, she's setting them up at the moment. 29-year-old from Larvik. As we watch that, Lunde Bornsen, is it? No, Rigelhut Kuren with her second. Rigelhut Kuren, who was World Player of the Year in 2008, prolific goal scorer, 807 goals for her country in 214 internationals. Huge amount of experience. Oh, caught and held by Haraldsen. Fast break is on. Løke, and they're up and running. The danger signs should be coming on now for Sweden. They've wasted a few chances. Let Haraldsen get her bearings, and that could prove crucial. Rigelhut Kuren gets the ball, waits until three defenders are coming towards her. Løke wisely went the other way, waited in the centre, and there's just 2 goals in it now. That's more like it. Isabel Gulden, who plays for Viborg.
10th goal for Sweden, scored by number 20, Isabel Gulden.
Lunde Bornsen couldn't quite hold her. Gulden's 4th goal. Edin is now moved into the centre, tries to find the line, but is tapped away, I think, by Torstensen. Sweden have possession, and now they should just bring it up nice and easy, because Norway are quick at getting back in defence. Settled already. Norway have brought on Ida Bjorndalen, now the number 14, newcomer to the team. Just 9 internationals before coming to Serbia. Torstensen looking to the lines, if to say to Ågren, move this way, but that's a little bit too obvious. Off the bar, the ball is free and loose, and Jakobsen picks it up. And they build up slowly again. Well, they made a good start, Sweden, 5-goal lead, but Norway ominously beginning to find form here, defending well. Good block between Bjorndalen and Løke there, and a team timeout called by Torbjörn Klingvall for Sweden, with the Swedes beginning to look a little bit untidy in attack. They had a nice flowing attack before, a lot of cross-court movement, crossovers. Now it's all straight in past the ball, straight in past the ball. They've got to try and find a little bit more variety. So 2 years since Sweden managed to beat the Norwegians. The Norway, who've had a average build-up to the Euro 2012. They hosted the Möbelringer Cup 2 weeks before the start of Euro 2012. Lost to Denmark and France. They beat Sweden, as we mentioned earlier, but these two teams finished 3rd and 4th on the back of that. Sweden losing all their matches in that same tournament. And a month earlier in the Golden League in Aarhus, Norway had drawn with Russia, then lost to Denmark and France. But what they've shown here, if anything, the Norwegians, is that when it counts, when the titles are at stake, they do find their way again and they do hit form. And they are unbeaten here, although they had very tight wins in the group stages. Comfortable save for Haraldsen. Norway, who had wins against Serbia, the Czech Republic and the Ukraine in the preliminary stages. Oh, brilliant save by Grubström off Edin. Bjorndalen set her up beautifully. Big gap to go through. She rushed the shot though. And the shot by Gulden goes right through. Fifth goal for Gulden. Sweden, for their part, started off with a great win in the preliminary stages against Denmark, and then Macedonia lost to France 17-24. And then that humdinger of a match yesterday, a real physical encounter with Serbia, which they tied at 23-all, having been 5 goals down with 8 minutes remaining. Plenty of strength of character then in the Swedish side. Bjorndalen tries to go through. Free throw for the number 14. Serbian brought in for the injured Tonje Nustevold, injured the shoulder. Nustevold was just about fit, but not quite. Decided not to risk her, and Bjorndalen is in, who's a great hope for the Norwegian team. Not a young player anymore, but 29, but very effective nevertheless. So for Sweden, Johanna Westerberg has been brought in, number 14. She's also a newcomer. In fact, a debutant for the team. Played her first internationals at just the week before. Late replacement. And Ågren, you could hear the energy as she blasted the ball away. Absolute scream from her as she releases the ball, exploding into that shot. 3 goals without reply now for Sweden. You haven't scored now for over 4 minutes. Edin in the centre. Bjorndalen. He's trying to drive through, but Heidi Lurker comes out for the free throw. Westerberg's picked up a yellow card for use of elbows on Lurker, I think. All the way through, nicely done. Anja Edin. Her third. 4 goals in it. So Westerberg switches back. Gulden has gone to left back. Looks for Ågren. She's too closely marked. Westerberg didn't quite commit enough of the defense before releasing the ball into the wing. Tried to spin it, but a push by Rigelhut-Koren gives a penalty for Sweden. The foul on Helleberg. Yellow card as well for Rigelhut-Koren. So there she runs in and basically shove, not very discreet, and well spotted by the Hungarian referees. Gulden. Top corner, and again Haraldsen goes down early. Her 6th goal of the game. She goes that side first. She's trying not to move. It is a game of cat and mouse to see which one will go first, and in the end Haraldsen twitches. She drops, and as she does so, top corner. Well, at the moment, Edin is unstoppable. Goal number 4 from open play. 29-year-old who plays for Larvik. Norwegian champions. And Sweden have brought on Jamina Roberts now at right back. He's not entirely shone. 4 goals from 9 attempts so far. She tends to be more of a driving player rather than a long-range shooter. Went in and on the line. Gulden tried the long-range effort, but it was comfortably covered. So Edin on the far side with Lurker in front of her, who's waiting on the far side. She's going out to put the block on if Edin wants to come across. Bjorndalen, it's blocked, but she gets a rebound. So the last 5 minutes of the first half. Edin once more. Her pass out, though not very good. Bjorndalen comes out to collect it. The 29-year-old who plays for Bayern in Denmark. That's more like it. Nice long-range effort from Ida Alstad. 27-year-old from Biasen. 86 kilometers an hour, that shot. And a 3-1 exchange by Norway. Brings them back to within 3. Roberts goes in as a second line player, but comes straight back out the other side. Here she is again. Now Helleberg's gone in. Roberts lobs the keeper. Jamina Roberts. Edin, oh, beautiful play. How unlucky. Well, when she's not scoring, she just puts in those sublime passes. She's had 2 really nice assists, neither one of which, though, has resulted in a goal. Alstad in the centre. Edin. Bjorndalen. Bjorndalen not quite coming to light yet. That's going to be a penalty if she didn't score anyway, but Lurker does find the back of the net. Her second goal.
Scored by number 6, Heidi.
Jamina Roberts goes in again. She'll come over this side, comes back out. Same move again. Ball to her, to the wing. Off the post. That was too narrow an angle for Helleberg really to try sensibly. Instead now Norway is streaming out. Phase 2 attack here. Bjorndalen, if she can move it quick enough. Halstad, nothing there. Edin knows it. Looks for Lurker, but they decide to settle it back down again and build up again. We're well into the last 3 minutes of the first half. Change on the wing for Norway, and they brought in Maja Jakobsen, just 3 internationals to her name, the number 20. She, together with Oftedal and the goalkeeper, not yet used, Solberg, come from the Norwegian under-20 team that won the World Championships, or the under-20 World Championships, of course, 2 years ago. Now older and promoted to the senior team, but showing that Norway has plenty of young talent coming through. Meanwhile, though, a mistake here has given possession back to Sweden. Switches back. Oh, Torstensson hesitated. Went the second time. It's gone wide. And we've got a 2-minute suspension. Heidi Lurker, I think, is the player who's been sent off. So off goes, let's see again. Yeah, quarter high. Anything, I'm afraid, around that height will get you a 2-minute suspension. Well, it doesn't matter whether the player throws her head back or not. If your hand is up around neck height, you will pay the price, I'm afraid. So they will be short-handed now. Breivang has come back in again for Bjorndalen. Bring on a bit of experience. Breivang, who's played 257 times for her country, the number 8 most experienced player in the team, scoring 426 goals in that time. There is Grubström, who's having a great game with 8 saves so far. Lunde Bornsen, passive plays being warned. They need to get a shot in soon. She's got to stand her ground there. Be a comfortable save. Rather unwisely, Jakobsen tries to shoot from a 0 angle. Quick ball in, Helleberg tried to lob, and it was not the right place to lob. Lunde Haraldsen. His sister is the playmaker at the moment, Lunde Bornsen, number 9. Both experienced players with the national team for many years. This is a phenomenal record that Norway has. 4 times European champions, back-to-back Olympic champions, and of course the current world champions. Off the post, but a penalty. And still Edin is causing all kinds of grief, short-handed or not. Gets the ball on the line and fights away past Sabina Jakobsen. The feed into her by Suland, who's just come on. And she was pointing to her to say thanks to the pass. Alstad then from 7 meters. Well, she made a jump first. Grubström eventually lost patience and took a little jump, and as soon as she'd done that, she was beaten. 3rd goal for Alstad. And just as the buzzer goes, Sweden nearly got the last chance. So after having a 5-goal lead in the first half, Sweden go into the half-time break, leading the defending champions Norway by 14 goals to 12. Mixed emotions for Torbjörn Klingvall there and Thomas Sivertsen, the 2 Swedish coaches going off. They've let slip a little bit at the end there with 2 goals when they were in a power play situation. It'll be disappointing for them. But nevertheless, still Sweden are leading Norway by 14 goals to 12, and it could keep the competition wide open if they can hang on to that lead all the way through to the end. Norwegian victory, on the other hand, will see their semi-final place already secured. 45% success rate on the attacks for Sweden. Norway uncustomarily low at 39%. Their field throws equally 39%, not very good. 8 turnovers for Sweden, 7 for Norway, but 2 suspensions, which have not necessarily cost the Norwegians since they've scored in both of them, including this last one with Luk's goal and Olstad's penalty right at the end. This is the running play, and both teams have had runs of 3 goals at a time when the other team's gone quiet, but not enough to build up enough of a lead for the game. Edin top scoring for the Norwegians. She's been very impressive, while Gulden is the top scorer for Sweden, and indeed in the game with 6 goals, 2 of them from the 7-meter line. And this is where the goals are coming from for Norway. It's all down the middle. The wingers having no success. At right back, 0 from 4, but 3 penalties and only 1 fast break. Sweden cut down the mistakes. Sweden are spreading it now into the wing and getting success. 4 goals from the wing. Yeah, the rest coming down the middle with 2 penalties and a fast break. Well, we're going to take a very short break, but join us again for the second half in just a few moments. We'll see you then.
Candle celebration. Oh, candle fantasy. Oh, candle fantasy. Oh, playing harvest fair and free. Candle free. When the candle lights in Serbia, in the cities of suburbia, all the world just one big family.
save in the second half for number 16, Team Sweden, Cecilia Grumström.
The second half, seeing a quick exchange, one goal each way. Lunde Bornsen. So Norway still there or thereabouts in this game. Goes wide. Gulden top scoring so far in the game with 6. It goes wide, but touched by the keeper. It goes out to the side. It's a throw in. No luck for Sand, but definitely a touch off Haraldsen. 3 minutes into the second half, then 15-13. Oh! Haraldsen misreading it. Torstensson coming good now in the second half after a relatively quiet time for the team's top scorer. 22 goals so far in the competition. Into the handoff, looks to the line. That was brilliantly played. Lurker under pressure.
Another goal for Norway in the second half, scored by number 6, Heidi.
And still that 2-goal gap. Jakobsen then at right back, Gulden in the centre, Torstensson. It's the starting lineup all over again for Sweden. With their back line, Ågren in on the line. The wings have changed though. Here comes Sand, drops in on the line. Torstensson came off a defender. It'll be a throw in from the corner. A puzzled look by Thorir Hergersson. Jakobsen, but the ball picked up by Sand, and we've got an injury. I think follow through on the shot. I suspect catching her in the face. Lynn Gosset, who has come in after Karimette Johansson announced her international retirement. 26-year-old who's played just 5 times for her country, scoring 12 goals before coming to Serbia. Howie Svensson back the other way. Gulden is free now, looks for Ågren, but she's too closely marked. Now she isn't. Good defence. No way through for Ågren. The 25-year-old who plays for the Danish champions, Randers. Long-range shot this time. Well, a confidence buoyed by the early 2 goals in the second half, but no luck there. 5 minutes played in the second half. Sweden lead by 2. Goalkeeper efficiency slightly coming up on Haraldsen. She was on 26% at half-time. It's up to 33%. Lunde Bornsen slips to the left. Tries to get into the wing. Not a lot of space there. She'll come back out again. Oh, nice play again. Suland, stab hand, quickly found Lurker. Two back-to-back goals by the line player. Brings the Norwegians ominously back to within one goal. Torstensson. Oh, beautiful play. Couldn't quite control the ball for the shot. Defending by Maja Jakobsen, the Storhamar right back. 22 years of age only in Norway, are really turning their bench here. And this time it is a penalty.
7 meters roll for Sweden.
And, feed in once more. Jakobsen, but she's a tough defender normally, and she can take the knocks even when she's blasting through there in attack. But on this occasion she has taken a hit, I think on the hand or the left wrist. And a few of the Swedish supporters there seeing a 5-goal first half lead whittled away by the Norwegians, who in so many of their matches in the preliminary stages just hung on all the way through and then did the business when it counted. Solberg's come in now for Norway in goal. Can do nothing about it though, the 22-year-old goalkeeper from Stabæk. 12 internationals to her name, up against Gulden, who's got over 100. Third penalty scored for her, and a 2-goal lead. A little bit of a cushion, but not much. Gulden's 7th goal. 3 from the penalty line. Into the wing. Good play. Inside post. Lynn Gosse. Gosse, who played really well against France yesterday. The newcomer to the team. She was actually top scorer in the Norwegian League last year with 127 goals. And Haraldsen tries to reach down with her arm instead of lifting across it and bringing her leg up. And Gulden, she did try and slide her leg across, but just couldn't get to it. Goal number 8 for Gulden, 23-year-old who plays for Viborg in Denmark. Alstad comes around to the left-back position. Lunde Bornsen in the centre, tries to find the line again. Good play. Fantastic save by Grubston, but a penalty's been given. Acknowledgement by Jakobsen. They get their 3rd, and it'll be their final yellow card for that little shove. Could have done well to just leave her, because in reality it was always going to be hard for Löke. She was facing completely the wrong way to get the shot after that. So Sweden put in Maria Olsen in goal. And she saves. Alstad dummied the first shot, but Olsen had landed and managed to compose herself again. And it was much too close to the keeper anyway, and made it a save off the knee. Torstensson, Jakobsen, oof, that was going skywards from the moment it left her hand. Whole arm movement was wrong on it. Interesting, Suland playing at left back. Only a right back. Says what was wrong with that? Why couldn't you just give me the goal? 1, 2, 3. She takes off. She's only taken 3 steps, and she hadn't landed, to my mind, before she shot. Well, Löke again, it's another penalty. And the centre of the Swedish defence are seriously struggling with putting the blocks on, and a change will be made again. Maria Olsen, the 26-year-old. Here's the foul again. Clear penalty. Yeah, Jakobsen holding her hand. So the goalkeeper from Aalborg in Denmark is up against Edin. Well, no theatrics from Edin, just blasts it top right.
For Norway, fifth individual goal for number 11.
Fifth goal for her.
Anya.
29-year-old has now been tasked with pushing up in defence. 10 minutes played in the first half. Jamina Roberts comes into the frame. She's lost possession. Unfairly, say the referees, as Torstensson is still individually marked at the back. Thorrier Hedegarsson then changing the defence back again. Torstensson moves into the right back, but she's being individually marked. Sand. The gap opened up. And Maja Jakobsen had just moved out a little bit too much. And Hedegarsson shows his frustration. First goal of the game then for Louise Sand, who's only played twice for Sweden before coming to Serbia, one of the crop of newcomers in this Swedish team. Edin. Good save, free throw though. Will then trying to marshal the centre of the defence with Jakobsen. But Luck is causing them all kinds of grief at the back. Ah, nicely done, Edin. Sixth goal for her. They are within one. Torstensson, Gulden now. Jamina Roberts. Over on the left back position. Sometimes used as right back because of a driving style of play. It's okay to do that way. But she doesn't really go cross court for jump shots. Gulden into the wing. Sand, it's not a bad angle. And Lunde Haraldsen came out very quickly and smothered the lob before it even got on the apex of the curve. Defender taking the sting out of that shot. Comfortable pick up in the end for Grubström. Long pass. And again, Haraldsen makes a great save. Of Hawia Svensson. Great long pass to Hawia Svensson. And Lunde Haraldsen, the goalkeeper, is really coming from strength to strength. 9 saves now, catching up Grubström. And that's it. And even Breivang is up on her feet. They've levelled it. Edin, once again, the provider, as Lynn Gosset gets her second goal. And it's 19-all. 17 minutes to play. Torstensson being individually marked. You wonder if Alm is injured as they try and force the ball into the line. It's stolen, 4 against 1. And that was always going to go in, and it's a real run now. 3 goals without reply. No surprise, Klingvall's called the team timeout. Norway are in front for the first time since they led 1-0 in the opening minute of the game. They've been down by up to 5 goals. Torben Klingvall leaves the space for Thomas Sivertsen, the assistant coach, to have a word. Former great player from the Swedish golden era of men's handball when they seem to win everything themselves. Thorrier Hedegarsson, calm as ever, but things are slowly swinging their way. It's been an 8-5 exchange so far here in the second half for the Norwegians.
Da du inne I ballveien. Sånn at du stykker ut.
Thorir Hergersson, an Icelander who's lived in Norway for many years, was the assistant to Marit Breivik. He coached the team from 1994 until 2 years back, and he's had to pick up the running, but he's done it well, and they've continued to win every title they've gone for, the Norwegians. Torstensen with a bit of space, Edin trying to cut her out. Jamina Roberts had to release the ball instead, but she puts it back to the centre, and Gulden levels it once more from point-blank range. Number 9 for her, 23-year-old, who's fourth top scorer in the Danish league with 62 goals for her club Viborg. Shot efficiency matched between the two teams now, as Rigelhut Koren goes in on the line, flattening the defence. Lunde Borensen. Suland goes around, the ball is loose, and that's a little push by Gosse, and it's a free throw for Sweden. 44 minutes played, and it's all square here between Norway and Sweden, developing into quite some game. Constant shifts in tactics, but the 5-0-1 defence for the moment working well for Norway, as the Swedes are being made to work incredibly hard to find gaps through there. But you do wonder whether Joanna Alm, that's an attacking foul. Joanna Alm is injured. She's been playing quite well, really. Left back comes centre, but not been put on yet today. And lob goes straight into the hands of Grubström, 26-year-old keeper, and back come Sweden. Torstensen says, I'll go over on the other side. Jamina Roberts bounces off her, and instead Torstensen goes back the other way, since Jamina Roberts doesn't look as if she's interested in moving. Edin came off her leg. She didn't even see the ball coming. Teammates couldn't warn her fast enough. Free throw for Sweden, and we hit the midway point in the second half. Torstensen tries to release Sand. Sand comes around now. He's flattened the defence a bit. Good save by Haraldsen. Her 11th save. 37% save rate. And after a lackluster first half, when she was on 26% only, she's really come good. Fantastic shot. Suland.
And the first goal for Norway, scored by number 15, Liljorun Suland.
Suland, who is the second top scorer in the competition, with 24 goals, an enviable 62% success rate for the Larvik-based player. To the wing, but not enough space for Hawia Svensson. Jamila Roberts could go through, she just hesitated. Gulden, wrong-handed, it's not going to help her. And Jamila Roberts almost forces herself into the shot by running deep. So off will go Norway's Ida Alstad, at the moment on defensive duties, and Edin slots back into the left back as on comes Suland over on the far side. Suland, who was the second top scorer in the World Championships last year in Brazil with 51 goals. She was just behind Brazil's Nascimento. 13 minutes. Edin. And again, wrong footing, Grubström. And Suland has found her range. And Gulden, looking tired, didn't come out. And two quick back-to-back goals by Suland give them a 2-goal lead. Well, Norway have weathered the storm, and now they've taken the ascendancy. Torstensen gets the ball. Didn't quite manage to screen her. That's come all right. Oh, off the post. Well, if they just let Ogren get on with it, but the collision means that they played safe. Gulden taking a knock in the process. And just getting her breath back, the 23-year-old Isabel Gulden slowly and gingerly gets up. Veteran of 2 European, 2 World Championships and 2 Olympics. Haraldsen was down, and if they had just played on, in fact, Ågren would have put the ball, as she did, validly into the open net, but forearm hurt, and she's nodding. Here it is again, the incident. She's nodding towards the 7 metre, so who's going to take it? Well, it's Torstensson. And Torstensson puts it wide, and what a shame. The Swedes will say that you didn't let that goal count by Ågren. Well wide as well, going for the top corner. And I don't speak that much Swedish, but I think I can translate what Torstensson had to say about that as it went wide. Edin, oh, brilliant. A mistake by Hawia Svensson. She came out. If you're not going to make contact and stop the ball getting there, you're in trouble. And Edin got the ball, spun around her. And Edin is playing brilliantly. 7 goals. Ball's loose, a big angle, and this time Hawia Svensson makes no mistake. It was a big angle and they needed that. Hadn't scored for nearly 5 minutes. Was conceding those 3 goals. Lunde Bornsen cuts back again. Suland gets a throw. It's going wide at the moment. That was the first drive in. Looking for the line. Löcker tried to come out and feed Rigelhut Kuhn, but just couldn't. Edin to the line. Managed to push the ball away. If Löcker had managed to hold that, they could have been in trouble, but Joanna Alm, who's finally on. Oh, brilliant shot. Well, once she's found her range, Suland, she's unstoppable. Right in the corner. 3rd goal for her. 3-goal lead now with 10 minutes remaining in the game. Shot efficiencies have swapped over now in the first half. The Swedes much better than Norway. Still, Joanna Alm not used in attack. She's been used purely defensively for the last 3 minutes. Hits the top corner and comes back out again as the Swedes just can't get close enough to get a shot on goal, and the Norwegian defence holding really well now. Ball stolen, but they'll come back again. And again, Suland. Well, she's taken up the mantle from Edin now. 4th goal. She's scored 4 of the last 5 goals for Norway. And of course, victory here today will seal Norway's place in the semi-finals. Well, they got 1 back. And it's Joanna Alm. But I just wonder why Klingvall didn't bring her on earlier. I would have been tempted to have Torstensson with Gulden and Alm on the attack rather than Roberts, who was struggling to find a way through. Alm took a blow to the eye in the match against France and just cut, and you can see a little bandage over her left eye. Meanwhile, at the other end, Edin again. It's so accurate, the shooting, just making sure that they still notice she's around after Suland's started to take some of her limelight. 8 goals, Edin. What a performance by her. Edin steals it. Unfairly, say the referees. Gulden comes out again. They're 4 adrift now and they're struggling to find their way through. Torstensson waiting. Into the line. Ah, what a shame for Sweden. Johanna Alm working it nicely. Ogren came up, put the block on the front defender, then dropped back. A nice little screening move. And again, this time knocked out of play by Edin, and they just can't get any rhythm going. And Haraldsen has taken over preeminence now in goal with an outstanding second half performance. An attacking foul there by Gulden gives possession back to the Norwegians, who seem to have got a hold of this match now by the scruff of its neck. Ball stolen, it's loose. Ogren's got it. Torstensson. And a fumble, but Lunde Bornsen just getting in there and hitting her hand in the process. Torstensson's all the way through. Haraldsen saves, but it's a penalty. A push on the left back. Torstensson, who plays in Slovenia for Krim Ljubljana, gets a good shove. Rigel Hudkoren standing inside the area anyway. Gulden. Just Haraldsen read it right, but just couldn't get there quick enough. And the bench trying to lift the Swedish side. They're within 3. The difference is okay. It's just that they are struggling to break down the Norwegian defence. So they've switched to this 5-1 defence with Johanna Alm at the front. 25-year-old who also plays for Viborg in Denmark, looking for the line. It didn't go through. Ball's loose, but it's picked up by Herem. Oh, Edin, superb. Goal number 9. From 11 shots, an 82% success rate. Suland this time the provider, catches the ball in the air and shoots before she lands. Alm, Sand comes around. Gulden, looked like she's going to take the shot, tries instead to release Hawia Svensson, can't. Johanna Alm starts all over again. Gulden tries to go through. Good defence by Alstad. Stops her in her tracks. And Gulden, I think it's the same forearm that took that slap earlier that she needed a bit of treatment on. She'll know she's been in a match at the end of this, and we're well inside the last 5 minutes now. Torstensson tries to surprise Haraldsen, but that's hard to do these days. Haraldsen, who has made 15 saves. Edin, this time straight down the middle, and Grubström straves it. Jakobsen is back on for the moment, straight out of defence. Is she going to be substituted out, or will she stay on? She's staying for now. Oh, nicely played. Johanna Alm didn't have time to do the swap between attack and defence, but it didn't matter. Second one for her.
27.
Well, Sweden will be mindful that they scored 5 goals in 8 minutes against Serbia yesterday to salvage a draw. out of what looked like a very hopeless situation for them. Too many steps by Breivang. 3 minutes to go. Alm tries to go through, good defending, and they will make the substitution. Now Jakobsen goes off, she's sent back. Well, the playmaker being used as a makeshift line player at the moment. That's an interesting one. They haven't even tried to put in Flonman, the other line player, Sweden, their most experienced one, who's played 215 times for her country. Flonman's been on for maybe 4 minutes in the entire match. Jakobsen, and she scored. And they're within 2. Well, they paused for a second. They thought, well, the whistle's got to go. And the referee said, well, just play on. And eventually they managed to overlap on the other side. 2 minutes to go and 2 goals in it. Still, they've got to push deep. Sweden have to. They've got to try and steal the ball. Johanna Alm, who's been used sparingly, got maybe a little bit of extra energy left. Suland, passive play being warned against the Norwegians now. Edin, always a danger. Surely they've had too long. They have. Norway have possession. Well, actually, a draw would probably even be enough to put Norway through. Nothing given. Jakobsen loses possession in that encounter with Lunde Bornsen, and that could be it. 22 turnovers in total in the game. Klingvall saying nice and easy, don't force it. It will leave Sweden, I'm afraid, out of the semi-finals if they can't win the game here today. And we're well inside, and that's surely going to be it. Inside the last minute. Suland absent in the first half, 5 in the second. And that's it, I'm afraid. And so Sweden's brave attempts will come to nothing. The semi-final place slipping away from them with every second. A 3-goal lead now for Norway. 6 seconds to go into the line. It's off the post, a little bit of luck, but the fight has gone out of them. And there goes the buzzer. And disappointment for Sweden. A brave fight. They took it to the Norwegians. 5 up in the first half. By half-time, Norway had recovered the situation. Were just 2 behind. But they levelled it after about 10 minutes of the second half. And Norway once more in a semi-final. Can you ever keep them away? And their travelling fans not disappointed. Could it be a 5th title in succession at the European Championships, I wonder? There was the last shot. Oh, some brilliant performances on both sides. Gulden for Sweden and Edin, he was absolutely outstanding for Norway, both scoring and providing. Scoring 9. Suland got 5. So in the end, though, Norway have beaten Sweden 28-25 in the Scandinavian derby, and they booked their place in the semi-final. Sweden, I'm afraid it's all over. They can't make it through to the semi-final. They had to win their last 2 games. 49% success rate on the attacks for Norway, 44 for Sweden. It was there or thereabouts, but it's on the field throws that Norway had more success, 55-46. 12 turnovers for Sweden. But this is the run, and there were spells there in the second half when the Swedes just dried up. 2 runs of 3 goals for Norway as they established control over this game, and from then on Sweden were playing catch-up and just couldn't quite do it. Well, Edin brilliant with her 9 goals. Gulden outscoring her with her 10, though. And then Løkke and Suland with 5 apiece for Norway. It's been a great game by both teams. Norway, success down the middle, 2 fast breaks, 4 penalties, but the back line doing well, the line doing well, the right wing a little bit of sleep for them today. Beagle Hudkoren scoring mostly by coming around. For Sweden, they tried to spread it wide. At right back, they didn't have any success there, but otherwise fairly well spread out. But 1 fast break from 3, a few bad misses there. And so it is then at the end of the second match of the day. Norway have booked their ticket. Denmark, who play Serbia next, are there with France on 4 points. Serbia and Sweden on 3 points. The Czech Republic are bottom. Well, hope you've enjoyed the game. We've got one more to come for you. Hope you can join us for that one. But for now, thanks for watching. And until next time, from me, Paul Bray, goodbye.